I want to start today with a controversy that erupted online, but is sort of indicative of a broader problem that the right currently has with, say, the influencer class. This controversy erupted because Benny Johnson had on
Senny Johnson, S-I-N, Senny Johnson. That is his new name. Facts.
Subscribe. I want to start today with a controversy that erupted online, but is sort of indicative of a broader problem that the right currently has with, say, the influencer class. This controversy erupted because Benny Johnson had on Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, for those who don't know, is an online provocateur.
Manosphere person. A manosphere red pill person.
Online. It's sort of indicative of a broader problem
who discusses men issues and
this controversy erupted because Benny Johnson,
masculinity.
Andrew Tate, for those who don't know, is an online provocateur. He is mostly famous for
he's fugazi.
Boxer, and now he sort of runs around with his shirt off with had on Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, for those who don't know, is an online provocateur. He is mostly famous for one time being a kickboxer, and now he sort of runs around with his shirt off.
4X, kickboxing champ.
On Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate,
before
is an online
starting his cam girl business and
one time being a kickboxer, and now he sort of runs around with his shirt off with fancy cars and
Bugattis,
women,
top G,
cigars, and says some things that are sort of useful critiques of left, but mostly says crazy stuff online. And he has generated an enormous following. So Benny Johnson.
This dude was more Googled than Trump, Kardashian, and many other people, bro. His popularity was crazy, yo.
Crazy stuff online. And he has generated an enormous following.
Certain things he says pertaining to men's issues are true, but everything he says isn't true. People have to be logical and not worship this dude as if he knows everything and is right pertaining to all things. Don't worship anybody on social media or in life, period, because we are all flawed people.
He smokes cigars and says some things that are sort of
don't fawn people,
left, but mostly says crazy
take
stuff
what
online.
makes sense.
And he has generated an enormous following. So Benny Johnson had on Andrew Tate, and he also had on at the same time crazy stuff online.
Word.
And he has generated an enormous following.
A huge
So Benny Johnson
fan base.
had on Andrew Tate.
Yep.
And he also had on at the same time alinahabba, who's a counsel for
a lawyer,
the Trump team.
Attorney.
And alinahabba was really
conservative.
So was Benny Johnson. And this erupted Andrew Tate. And he also had on at the same time alinahabba, who's a counsel for the Trump team.
Facts.
alinahabba was really praising Tate, and so was
glazing, not just praising. She was glazing and fawning and simping and fangirling. Yeah, it was really cringe. Cannot even front or flodge or cap. She was doing too much. She really was, bro. She said she agrees with everything this dude Tate says. Does she know that this dude fleeced men out of their savings, bro? These people, these men who thought they were going to be in real relations with these cam girls that worked for Tate. Tate told the Nelk boys he did not have shame or penitence for what he did to these men, bro. He really did not. The men who gave their savings, they did bug, they did trip, they did do a rash, injudicious thing. They really were not thinking when they gave their savings in the hopes of getting into real relationships with these girls, bro. The desperation, bro. It is not good. The deluded belief that these girls really have care for these dudes. The belief that these girls will do anything sexual with these dudes. Yeah, it is crazy, yo. It is sad. Yeah. People you gotta improve your confidence, bro. Like people, these dudes, they gotta change their mentalities, bro. Yeah. Work on self, improve self, and then, then great things will happen, bro. But thinking, paying giving your savings, giving any dollar amount to these girls, these cam girls, and porn stars and OF girls, bro. That won't lead to great things, bro. You gotta be logical, bro.
And he also had on at the same time alinahabba, who's a counsel for the Trump team. And alinahabba was
forgot to say, the men should reflect the men who gave their savings for sure. But that doesn't mean Tate isn't horrible or evil. Tate is a scumbag, a POS, a POG, piece of garbage, bro. This dude is a dishonest, unscrupulous, unethical person, bro. It is what it is, yo. Both gotta reflect. Both sides have to do this.
And he also had on at the same time alinahabba, who's a counsel for the Trump team. An enormous following. So Benny Johnson had on Andrew Tate, and he also had on at the same time alinahabba, who's a counsel for the Trump team. And alinahabba was really praising Tate, and so was Benny Johnson. And this erupted into controversy. Here's what that sounded like.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that
tripping.
Anger
Trash.
Is the same that
whack.
Trump has for our country. And
not thinking.
The time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment.
We do agree on this. A lot of men are wimpy and weak and soft. Like, there needs to be more bravery and courage. But she is bugging for glazing this dude Tate as if he's infallible and perfect. This dude, he's nowhere close to perfect. This dude, does Habba know all the crazy things Tate said and committed? If she did, she would not be glazing this dude. Or does she know but doesn't care? She just wants approval, validation. She's craving that approval. It is craziness, yo. It is whack. It is, MAGA people should not be doing this, bro. People on the right, repubs, should not be glazing this dude, bro. The people who are glazing this dude Tate, they're tripping, bro. Like this dude, he professes to be he says what people want to hear, but he doesn't really believe what he says, bro. He contradicts, his acts contradict his statements. This dude, he professes to be for masculinity, but he gets emotional when people don't fawn him, when people say real-ish, when people say things that disagree with what he says. If people are not nut gobbling, this dude, he gets emotive. He loses control of his emotions, bro. Masculine people don't lose control of their emotions. Stoic, he professes to be stoic and have stoicity, but his acts are not stoic. Or this dude isn't the epitome of stoicity or masculinity, bro. He is a whole hypocrite. He's a fugazi person, bro. A fraud, a conner, a deceiver, a manipulator, bro. Don't be deceived, duped, swindled, or tricked, or bamboozled by this prick and blight.
Is the same that President Trump has for our country, and the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment, and I also have to say that I sympathize with you because I think you go through a lot of the same show me the person, I'll find the crime that President Trump has gone through.
Okay, what alinahabba is saying there is not actually true. That Andrew Tate. He is not of the same ilk as President Trump. Find me the person, and I'll find you the crime. That is true of President Trump. That is not particularly true of Andrew Tate. And
Cobra Tate,
of course, rushed to the defense of all of this. Russellbrand then suggested that anyone who objected to the treatment of Andrew Tate on the right, that they needed to sort of check their problems at the door. Here was what Russell had to say.
Someone like Andrew Tate, with the audience he has,
Brand, he's bugging too.
He does say some stuff that's pretty out there. But the fact is, in a democracy, if someone is able to glean popular support, they can have a mandate, they should be represented. I suppose what's more significant and interesting to me is the way that figures like Andrew Tate or Tommy Robinson have always been maligned, I think, to place an impassable threshold.
It is the Matrix.
Systems of influence and power. You can have your own views of Andrew Tate. You might think he's misogynistic or vulgar, but the fact is he appeals to...
He did say women are inferior. He did say this. He did say this on cam, bro. He said this. That is misogyny, bro. If you say women are, if you condescend women or say things like they are inferior to men, you are misogynistic. If you disagree with women, you are. If you just disagree with women, that doesn't make you misogynistic. But if you say truly hateful things, or look down on women, or say they should not be treated with equal respect, or seen as fellow humans because they are women, yeah, bro, you are a real misogynist, bro. You are a real misogynist. Period. Point blank. Period. Point blank.
The way that figures like Andrew Tate or Tommy Robinson have always been maligned, I think, to place an impassable threshold around systems of influence and power. You can have your own.
You gotta reflect. Yeah. Tate, he tells so many people the Matrix is after him, bro. He doesn't reflect or own up to the transgressions he did and the offenses he admitted to doing, bro. He self-reported. He self-snitched on live, bro, when he was with his brother, Tristan Talisman Tate. The Tate simps, they would always say he's playing a character and all that, but when will you there be self-reflection, bro? When? Like, is it always a character, bro? Or, nah. This is crazy, yeah.
So, I think
the simping is crazy.
Today is a conflation of a couple of different ideas. So, I think there's a big difference between having people on, have whoever you want on. That's totally... I think that the way that some people are defending Andrew Tate today
is he appeals to a lot of people and he represents some things that a lot of people are very interested in.
Okay, so I think that the way that
he appeals to a lot of people and he represents... You can have your own views of Andrew Tate. You might think he's misogynistic or vulgar, but the fact is he appeals to a lot of people and he represents some things that a lot of people are very interested in.
So what? Just because a person is popular, that doesn't mean he or she is virtuous or laudable or moral. People have to understand this. They really do. Popularity doesn't equate to virtue. There's unvirtuous people who are popular. Yes. There's virtuous people, truly virtuous people who ain't popular. You got virtuous and unvirtuous people in all groups, in the popular group and the unpopular group. You have both in all groups. You really do. You have both. Virtue isn't limited to the popular group. You can be unpopular and be virtuous. Yes. Yeah, people have to cease this idol worship and this pedestalization of famous people, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of corny and disgraceful people who have fame, bro. Yeah, certain people know that the famous people that certain famous people they follow are disgraceful, but they don't care. They don't care because they rock with them so heavy and like them so much. Yeah, it is scary, yo. Yeah, if you don't care, like, so yeah, certain people really don't care if people are true devils in real life or they treat people poorly in real life. They don't care. Like, you just, like, as long as you can entertain and you have skill, you have proficiency in a field, they don't care if you are immoral or scummy or demonic or bereft of rectitude. They don't care. It is craziness, bro. It is. It is really saddening, bro. It really is.
He appeals to a lot of people, and he represents some things that a lot of people are very interested in.
Okay, so I think that the way that some people are defending Andrew Tate today is a conflation of a couple of different ideas. So I think there's a big difference between having people on, have whoever you want on. That's totally fine.
Facts.
And all the rest. That's totally fine.
Free country.
Bad people who don't actually care about your principles. Between having people on, have whoever you want.
Free speech.
Totally fine.
We live
Free
in
speech
these
and all the rest.
states.
That's totally fine. And
Los Estados Unidos.
About your principles.
L'États Unis.
Having people on, have whoever you want.
We live
Okay, so
in
I
a
think the way
free
that some people are defending
nation.
Andrew Tate today is a conflation of a couple of different ideas.
Word.
So I think there's a big difference between having people on, have whoever you want on. That's totally fine. Free speech and all the rest. That's totally fine.
Yep.
And cheering on bad people who don't actually care
Mm.
about your principles.
Mm.
And Andrew Tate is the latter. Now, again, let me say
Fake,
at the
phony.
outset, I am not upset at all with anyone actually just interviewing Andrew Tate. Go
Same,
for it. Have
same.
at it. There are tons of excellent questions to ask Andrew Tate.
Yep. Real,
None
tough.
of these people are asking Andrew Tate any of those questions.
Facts.
Instead, a lot of people are sort of glomming onto
Yep.
his very online popularity in order to get clicks. And some people are
It's sycophantic, soapy, oleaginous. It is brown nosing. It is placation. It is a kissing. It is nut gobbling. It is these people have no morals, bro. They just certain people, not all repubs, but certain ones, bro. They'll do anything to get more attention. It is crazy. It is whack. It is goofy. It is corny. It is bozo stuff.
on actually interviewing Andrew Tate. Go for
Attention
it.
is a drug, bro.
Excellent questions to ask Andrew Tate.
They say it
None of
is
these people
a H
are asking
of a
Andrew Tate
drug.
Any of those questions. Instead, a lot and actually just interviewing Andrew Tate. Go for it. Have at it. There are tons of excellent questions to ask Andrew Tate.
Agreed.
None of these
We
people
concur.
Are asking Andrew Tate any of
The
those
real,
questions.
the tough.
Instead, a lot of people are sort of glomming onto
The-
his very online
They're not being balanced, fair, or impartial. They are being partial. They are really being partial. They are really being partial to this dude. They don't care. They have no care for sticking to integrity and scruples. They have no care. They have no care for sticking to integrity. They don't. They care. They have care for finery and goofy-ish, bro. It is. This is really unlaudable, bro. Really crazy, bro. Really crazy.
But none of these people are asking Andrew Tate any of those questions. Instead, a lot of people are sort of glomming onto his very online popularity in order to get clicks. And some people are dishonestly conflating interviewing Andrew Tate with cheering for Andrew Tate, or applauding him, or talking about how brave and wonderful he is. And Andrew Tate is not brave and wonderful. He rips off thousands of people with his scam Hustlers University. He preaches the virtue of treating women in a way you would never, ever allow anyone to treat your wife or your daughter.
Aunt, niece, or sister.
You can't have Andrew Tate on your show. It's a free country. You should do what you want. What I'm saying is that if you say you're conservative, and then you have someone who truly is disgusting on, and you proceed to tout them, praise them, not
just praise, but overpraise. It is worse than praising. Overpraise.
Is disgusting on.
Glaze.
To tout them, praise them,
kiss.
not along to everything they say, cheer them. You're doing more than platforming, which is disgusting on, and you proceed to tout them, praise them, nod along to everything they say,
Yep.
cheer them. You're doing more than platforming,
Sheeple.
which, again, is fine. Platform is disgusting on, and you proceed to tout them, praise them,
Bots.
nod along to everything they say, cheer them.
Drones.
You're doing more than platforming, which, again, is fine. Platforming, the idea that you can never have a conversation. You can have a conversation with whoever you want.
Yep.
There's a difference between having a conversation with a person and becoming a propagandist for that person. If you're a person, for example, who purports to stand for biblical values or American values or traditional values,
Yep.
you probably have a moral obligation, not probably, you certainly have a moral obligation to ask Andrew Tate, who is a self-stated bad man, hard questions about his actions and his beliefs and his past. Not to, as so many on the right have, help him falsely rewrite his legal record.
Yep.
Ignore all of the things he's actually
Sweep
said,
under
while
the
not
rug.
enthusiastically. See, here's the thing. Andrew Tate, now he's trying to play himself off as a politician. He's not. He's an influencer. He's an online troll.
Yep.
That's really what he is. Now he's trying to start some sort of party in the UK.
Yep.
But he's not a conservative
Bruv
politician,
party.
for example.
B-R-U-V.
Conservative
The UK word bruv. B-R-U-V means brother. It means brother.
who is a self-stated bad man, hard questions about his actions and his beliefs and his past. Not to, as so many on the right have, help him falsely rewrite his legal record or ignore all of the things he's actually said while nodding enthusiastically. See, here's the thing. Andrew Tate, now he's trying to play himself off as a politician. He's not. He's an influencer. He's an online troll. That's really what he is. Now he's trying to start some sort of party in the UK. But he's not a conservative politician, for example, trying to push conservative policy.
Word.
Or part of the job of the interviewer is separating out his agenda from his personal behavior. Like, what does the public get out of this person versus what they do in their private life? That is a question typically reserved for politicians. That's not what he is. He's an online troll. And he revels in precisely the evils conservatives hate. That is his entire, like, not some of it, his entire self-stated persona. If you don't ask about that, you're not doing your job.
Not being honest or impartial.
His entire self-stated persona. If you don't ask about that, you're not doing your job as a conservative, as a traditional person, a person with actual values. Higher, like, not some of it, his entire self-stated persona. If you don't ask about that, you're not doing your job as a conservative, as a traditional person, a person with actual values. Now, listen, I understand the appeal of Andrew Tate. I get it. I've seen his stuff. He's really charismatic.
Muscular.
For decades, the hatred of traditional
Articulate.
in our society.
Funny.
I understand the appeal of Andrew Tate. I get it. I've seen his stuff. He's really charismatic. And for decades, the hatred of traditional masculinity.
He knows how to deliver messages. He can sound believable to malleable young people, young men.
For decades, the hatred of traditional masculinity.
He sounds believable. He sounds credible, but he really isn't.
In our society has been so strong, so thoroughgoing throughout the media, throughout politics, from our institutions, from our colleges, so strong, so thoroughgoing throughout the media, throughout politics, really charismatic, and for decades, the hatred of traditional masculinity. I understand the appeal of Andrew Tate. I get it. I've seen his stuff. He's really charismatic, and for decades, the hatred of traditional masculinity in our society has been so strong,
Yep.
so thoroughgoing.
Word.
Media,
It's crazy.
Politics, from
The
our
woke
institutions,
media.
from our colleges, everywhere.
Yep. Wokies in all places.
So strong, so thoroughgoing throughout the media, throughout politics, from our institutions, from our colleges, everywhere.
Yep.
That people, including people on the right, have run away from traditional masculinity altogether, and they've sort of feminized what masculinity
Yep.
is supposed to be.
They made it
At
bad.
least a generation, maybe two.
Or they made it seem like it is bad to be masculine, for men to be masculine. Yeah, it is natural. It is their it is in their nature to be masculine, bro. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being masculine. Yeah. Masculinity isn't tyranny or control or abuse. Masculinity is integrity, honor, respect, virtue, protecting the people who are the most vulnerable, providing. Masculinity is civility, stoicity, not losing control of your emotions. That doesn't mean you are emotionless. Emotions are natural, yes, but you can't be a slave to your emotions. You won't go far if you permit your emotions to control you. You have to be in control of your emotions and have self-restraint. That prevents a lot of crazy things from befalling you. Masculinity is healthy. It is logical. It is reasonable. It is sagacious. It is judicious. It is laudable. Yeah. You're treating everybody with respect is healthy, bro. It ain't bad to be it is not bad. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. Being aggressive when it is needed isn't bad. You have to be aggressive in certain situations if your life is in peril or whatever. Being assertive is good. Having self-confidence is good. You have to be confident because if you don't, other people won't respect you or like want to be like people won't you won't get as many opportunities. You get me? Yeah, bro. So, yeah, these things are good. It all starts with self. If you are confident in yourself, people will gravitate. People will flock because you have you know your worth. You know your value. You don't think lowly of yourself. That doesn't mean you are egotistical or hubristic or arrogant, but you do think highly of yourself. You are proud of your abilities and what you can do. That doesn't make you evil or bad or scummy or weird or trash. Yeah. But the wokies, the radical feminists, the woke leftists, the wokies, period, they want you to believe masculinity is hate, evil, and nah, bro. Nah. They're leading people astray with that nonsense and hogwash. Hogwash. They're leading people astray with that nonsense and hogwash. They really are misleading people and leading people astray with this hogwash. Craziness, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Stupidity, bro. Stupidity. Idiocy.
So strong, so thoroughgoing throughout the media, throughout politics, from our institutions, from our colleges, everywhere, that people, including people on the right, have run away from traditional masculinity altogether. And they've sort of feminized what masculinity is supposed to be. Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically been told they were useless at best and toxic.
Evil, weird.
And that leaves a giant vacuum. A vacuum for somebody.
Yeah, they're fearful of, a lot of men are fearful of talking to women or saying a greeting to women, bro, because they think they're gonna get labeled creeps and weirdos and get accused of misconduct if they want to genuinely be nice and say hello, bro. Yeah, it is crazy, yo. That, like, because of the wokeness, the radical feminist rhetoric, bro, and the rhetoric of the wokies, period. All men suck. All men are evil just because of what certain men do. Like, a lot of women, they got hurt by multiple men, so they blanket the whole population of men, bro. They blanket the whole subgroup of the human population. They lump all men in the same box because of what other men did to them, bro. Don't label all of us evil and garbage. Evil and garbage. Don't label all of us. Don't label all of us evil and garbage just because you got done dirty by certain men. It is unfair and unhealthy, bro. They say hurts people. It is real, bro. But it is, a lot of women, they hurt other people, bro, because they got hurt. But just because they got hurt, it doesn't excuse their nastiness and toxicity. It doesn't excuse their nastiness and toxicity and hostility towards men who did nothing wrong to them, bro. People gotta evolve, bro. People gotta improve. People have to improve and evolve.
Everywhere. That people, including people on the right, have run away from traditional masculinity altogether, and they've sort of feminized what masculinity is supposed to be. Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically been told they were useless at best and toxic.
Monsters.
And that leaves a giant
monsters.
Vacuum for somebody who can sort of cosplay now. For at least a generation, maybe
rapists
two, have basically been told they were useless,
abusers,
toxic at worst. And that leaves a giant vacuum. A vacuum for somebody who can sort of cosplay masculinity and fills that vacuum with his form of masculinity. Giant vacuum.
Pretend.
A vacuum for somebody. Everywhere. That people, including people
profess,
have run away from traditional masculinity altogether, and they've sort of feminized what masculinity is supposed to be. Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically been told they were useless at best and toxic at worst. And that leaves a giant vacuum. A vacuum for me. Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically...
Make masculinity permissible again. Make masculinity permissible again. Make masculinity permissible again.
Been told they from traditional masculinity altogether, and they've sort of feminized what masculinity is supposed to be. Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically been told they were useless at best and toxic at worst. And that leaves a giant vacuum. A vacuum for somebody who can sort of cosplay masculinity.
Grifters.
And Tate fills that
snakes, fugazi people.
Masculinity.
Tate, he did fill the void. He did fill the void.
Who can sort of cosplay masculinity. And Tate fills that vacuum with his form of masculinity. But masculinity is...
A lot of men who follow people like Tate, they feel better about their... They think it is. They think that they dilutedly think they don't have to improve. It is all women's fault, and they're at fault for every issue. It is crazy, yo. It is really trash, bro. Really trash.
Young men for at least a generation, maybe two, have basically been told they were useless at best and toxic at worst. And that leaves a giant vacuum. A vacuum for somebody who can sort of cosplay masculinity. And Tate fills that vacuum with his form of masculinity. But masculinity has good iterations, and it also has really, really ugly.
Healthy and unhealthy. Healthy and unhealthy. Healthy and unhealthy forms. Healthy and unhealthy forms. Healthy and unhealthy forms.
A traditional
healthy and unhealthy forms.
Giant vacuum of really ugly iterations. And the iteration that Andrew Tate pushes is not a responsible masculinity. But masculinity has good iterations, and it also has really, really ugly iterations. And the iteration that Andrew Tate pushes is not a responsible masculinity. A traditional masculinity that is all about channeling the sort of testosterone-fueled side of man into protecting women and children and civilization and building good things. But the kind of masculinity that tears everything good down.
Destroys, demolishes, wrecks.
Really ugly iterations. And the iteration that Andrew Tate pushes is not a responsible masculinity. A traditional masculinity that is all about channeling the sort of testosterone-fueled side of man into protecting women and children and
logical-ish
building good things. But the kind of masculinity that tears everything
destructive, detrimental, deleterious,
destroying rather than building and civilization and building good things. But the kind of masculinity that tears everything good down, sort of barbarian masculinity that is interested in destroying rather than building. And Andrew Tate plays a double and building good things, but the kind of masculinity that tears everything good down, sort of barbarian masculinity that is interested in destroying rather than building. And Andrew Tate,
the antithesis of real masculinity, the antithesis of real masculinity. Facts.
Plays as and building good things, but the kind of masculinity that tears everything good down, sort of barbarian masculinity,
enslavement,
rather than building.
Tyranny,
plays a WWE heel. He knows it.
Despotism,
masculinity that is interested in destroying rather than building. And Andrew Tate plays a WWE heel. He knows it. He's not making any bones about this. He released a video yesterday, a very long 21-minute video, rambling video, sitting in a jacuzzi in cold weather, smoking a hookah, and basically saying that he wants to be the most hated man on earth, and that he makes money off of that. And he's telling the truth about that. That part is true. But here is the thing. Andrew Tate is, at best, a crap sandwich. He presents totally differently to different audiences.
He panders.
So,
he caters.
Traditional people on the right, when he's in interviews with them,
he says what people want to hear. He's a fake.
He's saying that he wants to be the most hated man on earth.
He's a faker.
And he's telling the truth about that. That part is true.
A fugazi human.
Andrew Tate is, at best, a crap sandwich. He presents totally differently to different audiences. So, for people, sort of traditional people on the right, when he's in interviews with them, he will present as a sort of low-rent, anti-feminist talk.
Facade.
Doesn't know much.
Veneer. Mirage. Illusion. Illusion.
A crap sandwich. He presents totally
masquerade
to different audiences. So, for people, sort of traditional people on the right, when he's in interviews with them, he will present as a sort of low-rent, anti-feminist talking head. Doesn't know much, but he's saying the things that need to be said. Left-wing woke
to get approval.
And then, to
get views, clicks.
Present as an anti-Semitic radical who's willing to violate any taboo or the fringes. And then, when he's sitting down with someone actually conservative, he'll pretend.
Yeah, it is crazy, yo. This dude Tate, he's so soft when it comes to the Hamas conflict, bro. This dude told peers in an interview that Hamas is a resistance group, not a terror group. Yo, after Pierce asked if he could condemn Hamas, Andrew could not do it because he fears loss. He fears loss of connections and relations